Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to talk about the food shortage crisis that we're currently seeing. And I say that tongue in cheek because I don't believe we're at a food crisis point. And I know that's going to probably come to a shock to a lot of people. And I know I can already think of the person if they're watching this. I'm already expecting your comments. So go ahead and leave it, bud. But realistically, I do not believe that we're in a food crisis scenario, at least not right now. Now, food is something that I take extremely seriously. In fact, I take it so seriously that I grow all my own food for my family and for my close friends. Okay, that literally is how much I'm concerned about food and how important of a commodity it is. It absolutely is super important. And as somebody that takes it to the most important degree, trust me, I understand. I understand the concerns. So before anybody comes at me and says that I don't understand or, I don't care enough, there's lots of homesteading videos I have for you to take a look at because you can be just as resilient as I am, and I show you how to do it. So food crises are something that I take more importantly and I take more seriously than 99.99999% of people in this world ever will. Okay, without a shadow of doubt. So, being that that's the case, I also have to be honest with you, right? Unapologetically honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. The problem that we're seeing is not a food shortage problem, it's a cultural problem. What we have is people that are conflating capitalistic indicators with food shortage. And that's not the best way to go about it. You can't take capitalistic indicators and automatically assume because there are bare shelves and the prices are increasing and we have a plain logistical issue that somehow that means that there's a food shortage or there's a food crisis looming. I don't have that information in front of me. I can't prove it. And everything that everybody showed me, everything that everybody's talking about is not an indicator of a food crisis. It's an indicator of a cultural problem, and it's an indicator of a convenience shortage, right? Of a food processing shortage. Sure, if you want processed packaged food in a box or in a styrofoam plastic container somewhere in a grocery store shelf, yeah, there's gonna be shortages of that. There's gonna be shortages of convenience. That's what I call it. Shortages of convenience, yes. It's like if I were to go to, so I live next to one of the biggest rivers in the state. I have lots of well water here. You've seen my water storage. We're close to the ocean, okay? That's like me going to the grocery store and saying, well, I don't see bottled water here, so there must be a water shortage. No, there is a convenience shortage of bottled water with little plastic packaging on it. Yeah, sure, there's a shortage of your convenience, but there isn't a shortage of that commodity of food, right? And that's what people are conflating. Just because they don't see it in the grocery store in the area that they're at, they assume that there is this nationwide shortage of food. And no, there's not. In fact, we have numerous agricultural pact agreements in which the United States government has told farmers, we don't want you to grow food this year because you did a really good job last year and you're going to make food artificially low because of all these subsidies that we do. So therefore, yeah, we're going to pay you not to grow food this year. Cool? Awesome. Don't believe me? I'll put a link in the description box below. So again, we do not have a food shortage issue. We have a convenience issue that's directly related to the problems we have in our culture. Because our culture is it's contrary to good order and discipline. Let's just be real, right? So again, saying that there is a food shortage problem just because you're not seeing packaged food in a grocery store is grossly negligent. It is what it is, because we know food is not produced at grocery stores. We know it's not grown there. We know it's not processed there. We know it's not even packaged there, right? A grocery store is literally an outlet for companies all over the world to ship their products to in order to get a monetary gain from, right? And so if that is the system you want to depend on, okay, expect when there is capitalistic indication of supply chain issues, you can expect there to be a shortage of convenience. Absolutely agree with you. But to say that all food there's a shortage of, I can't get on board with that. I can't get on board with that, especially as somebody who takes food so seriously, as somebody who is 110% when it comes to food all in. I mean, just look at me. I'm a fat kid, right? And so again, we have to be real with what we're saying. It's like me going to the grocery store and saying, well, since I don't see, sea salt in my favorite company package that I usually get, there must be a shortage of salt out there. Well, no, I have more access to sea salt than I could ever use, right? But it's just depending on how lazy am I going to be, right? I mean, it's okay to go to the grocery store and buy things. There's nothing wrong with that. But to say just because you don't see it there, it's indication of a bigger issue of it not existing isn't the case. And again, it comes down to laziness. There are a lot of small operations like myself all over the country, right? There are tons of people growing food. There's tons of people that grow food, so you don't have to. There's tons of it. But the problem is we have grown up in this era of thinking that I buy food when I need it, when I want it, how I want it, and I want to be able to go drive to an air-conditioned grocery store, that's running based upon fossil fuels, right? That has electricity. I want to go in, I want to shop for what I want to eat for the next couple days, and I want to do that consistently forever. Yeah, if that's the paradigm in which you call food, yeah, expect your expectations to be completely shattered all the time. Okay, so yes, there's a difference, and for people, and especially, it's really sad to see the prepper community conflate the two. Again, negligent. At best, it's negligent. So I'm going to highly encourage you guys, right? And I see a lot of people, and I see a lot of comments already, out there that really believe we're already in a shit hits the fan scenario, that we're already in this without rule of law, like we have started the process. And I hate to break it to you guys, for those of you out there that truly believe that, if you truly believe that we've started the shit hits the fan without rule of law, do you feel like that event's already been triggered? I hate to break it to you, but you're going to be very disappointed if it does happen. If and when it does happen, you're going to be very, very disappointed because you have no idea human depravity. If you think that things are bad because you can't find what you're looking for in a grocery store, man, I hate to break it to you, but the human condition and the human depravity that are experienced by people all over the world currently right now to date would destroy any sense of credibility that would even be thought to be lent to that statement that you're making. And so, knowing that this is the reality, the question is, what are you guys going to do? And when I mean you guys, I mean, reasonable people like yourselves. Are you going to continue to be dependent on the subsidized system of food, right? Are you going to be dependent upon the system that has multi-layered steps that could go wrong on any level that will bring you inconvenience to your otherwise convenient food procurement plan? Honest question. Questions, what are you going to do about it? Because again, I'm not saying everybody go out there and do what I do. You don't have to. There's more than enough of us out there that are already doing it. You don't have to. But it might require you making a phone call and seeing what your local farmers, local homesteads have. It might require you making a phone call. It might require you actually talking to somebody. It might require you actually having to buy a freezer to hold food long term or longer term. It may require you to do that. And if you can't be bothered to take common sense steps and approaches to ensuring that you're able to feed you and your family, there's nothing that I or anybody else can do to help you. You probably should just keep watching the fear porn and inundating yourself and listening and being in your echo chambers where everybody's going to tell you that everything's going to be okay as long as you stockpile and hoard. That's where you should be. But for everybody else that uses common sense and for everybody else that gets it, I highly encourage you guys to look at your plan and look at what's holding you back. Look at what societal norms are holding you back. Is there anything that is holding you back because of society, right? Societal norms. You don't want to be looked at a certain way. You don't want people to whisper certain things at their dinners or meetings or whatever. It just goes to show you how disconnected I am. But, is there anything that's holding you back? Because if there is, maybe you should work on addressing and fixing those, right? Maybe you should think about handling your business at home. Because again, I'm not saying go out there and do the things I'm doing. You don't have to. But you might have to pick up you honestly, I mean, and this is as hard as it's realistically, with the knowledge that I have, right? It's literally as hard as picking up your phone, calling somebody, buying an extra freezer, and taking your compost out to a local homestead and picking up eggs. Like, it's literally that hard. I know this because of the families that I feed. So I know this to be a reality, right? I know for some people it's a little weird for you to take all the stuff that is plant-based, animal-based that you're not going to eat. I know that's weird for you to, instead of throwing it away, putting it in a bucket, letting it accumulate for a couple days, or a week, and then taking it to your local homestead where he's going to trade you that bucket of, food byproducts, if you will, for fresh eggs. For some people, that's so outside of Western societal norms that you'll refuse to do it because it's embarrassing to you. There are people out there that the fact that, I would give you cuts that are not in plastic, but instead they're wrapped in butcher paper and seal dried, that somehow that's beneath you, right? I get this. I understand this because I've talked to you guys out there. I've talked to people out there. The fact that if anybody found out that you ate leftovers, right, it'd make you look bad around your friends. That's the society in which we're fighting right now, right? And by fighting, I mean that is the society in which has got us to this capitalistic, nuanced issues that we're having with the global supply of things, right? The convenient supply of things. That's the truth of the matter. This culture of everything on demand, everything convenient, has led us to where we're at. And the idea that you're just going to get online and make videos, and the idea that preppers think that they're gonna effectively help anybody is by recording empty food store. The fact that they think that by taking their phone and recording bare shelves at the local Walmart and then telling their constituents to stockpile and hoard is somehow going to help them or anybody else, again, it's negligent. You can't stockpile and hoard your way to prosperity. You just can't. So the question really, what it comes down to, is what are you going to do about it? Because you'll know we're in a real food shortage issue when you try to think outside the box and you keep running into a brick or a dead end, brick wall. You keep running into it because all the smart people, all the people that are using common sense now, have already plugged in. They're already plugged in and things are set. That's when you know you're in a real food shortage. That's when you know, oh, things are actually really bad. That's when you'll know. But until then, keep fooling yourself with the stockpile hoarding. Keep fooling yourself that things are actually really bad right now, because things are really good right now. They are. Say what you want. Yeah, prices are up. Yeah, your processed food that you're used to having isn't there. That's not bad, guys. You have not seen the human condition yet. You've not seen human depravity. You're not even close. So keep believing, keep doing what you're doing. But I just want, this is my warning to everybody out there. Please don't act surprised when you see real food shortage and everything that you were told by mainstream preparedness isn't right. That plan failed you. Please just don't act surprised. We're past that. Don't act surprised at all. It's not controversial. Because we told you already. So for those of you that are smart, again, it's as easy as picking up the phone, making that connection. It's as easy as getting infrastructure in place. And that could be something as simple as a large chest freezer, and as easy as saving your scraps, and again, making those good relationships with local homesteads. It's literally that easy. I'm not even joking. It doesn't take much, because again, remember, a lot of us are already out there doing this. A lot of us are already out there growing food, making food. There are tons of small local co-ops all over the country, right? It's all about getting plugged in. It's all about having those resilient communities. But again, can we just stop with this food shortage narrative? Can we just stop with these capitalistic indicators that don't actually mean food shortage? Because trust me, if it ever does happen, I don't think it will anytime soon. But if it ever does happen, I promise you, there'll be zero doubt. There'll be zero doubt there's a food shortage, because you'll be in a point of desperation, and then you'll finally be ready to think outside the box. And once you do, you realize that all the smart people have already done everything they needed to do. That's when you'll realize, oh, yeah, I was wrong this entire time. So you have it. If you think I got it wrong, articulate yourself in the comment section below. Let's talk history, right? Let's talk Cuba. Let's talk what's happening in North Korea right now. Let's talk about what happened in the Russian famine, right? Let's talk about history. I'd love to. History is great. That's why I'm telling you. Resilient communities, have a conversation, socialize, get to know your neighbor. Simple stuff, guys. There you have it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I hope you guys have a great week. Looking forward to answering your questions that you have. And as always, guys, long live the Republic.